You know, they say the Louvre Museum, the heart of France, is untouchable. A fortress that's seen kings rise and empires fall, but on a cool Sunday morning, October 19th, 2025, four men proved that even the most protected place on earth could be robbed, right under the eyes of 30,000 people. They didn't sneak in at midnight. They didn't use ropes from the ceiling. They came in broad daylight, dressed like construction workers, and walked away with over $100 million worth of royal jewels. But here's the crazy part. They made it look easy. And yet, it was their mistakes that would bring them down. This is the story of the 2025 Louvre Heist, a robbery that humiliated France, shocked the world, and left one haunting question. If they can rob the Louvre, is anything really safe anymore? It was a crisp autumn morning in Paris. Tourists were lining up under the Louvre's glass pyramid, waiting for the 9 a.m. opening. By 9:30, the museum was packed. More than 30,000 visitors, cameras clicking, voices echoing in 73,000 square meters of history. But outside, near the southeast corner of the building, something strange was happening. A truck with a mechanical lift parked quietly. Four men in yellow vests got out, their faces hidden behind balaclavas, their bodies moving like they belonged there. They placed orange safety cones just like any workers would. No one questioned them. In Paris, you see that kind of thing every day. But that truck wasn't theirs. It was stolen 9 days earlier from a professional mover who thought he was responding to a job ad. And now it was part of one of the boldest operations in modern history. At 9:30 sharp, two of the men climbed into the lift and began to rise toward the upper floors. To most people, it looked like maintenance. But to one cyclist passing by, something didn't feel right. He stopped, looked closer. Men in helmets, a lift parked in an odd position. He dialed emergency services. That call, unnoticed at first, would become the first thread that would later unravel the entire operation. The lift stopped at the Galerie d'Apollon, one of the most luxurious halls in the Louvre, rebuilt by Louis XIV himself. Inside, a tour guide named Ryan was leading a group when he heard something strange. A grinding noise, metallic, violent, echoing through the hall. At first, people thought it was renovation work, but then the alarms blared. Museum staff started yelling, get out, evacuate!" Within minutes, panic spread. Tourists ran in every direction, but inside the gallery, the thieves were calm. They used an angle grinder, sparks flying, slicing through thick glass panels. Security guards, thinking it might be a terror attack, hesitated. And that hesitation was all the thieves needed. They smashed through two display cases, grabbed 9 royal artifacts, and stuffed them into black duffel bags. Within 7 minutes, they were gone. Descending the lift, jumping on motor scooters, roaring away along the River Seine. And just like that, the most famous museum in the world had been robbed in broad daylight. By afternoon, every TV channel in France had one headline: "The Louvre has been robbed." Officials called it a national tragedy. Interior Minister Laurent Nunez said, "It's not just a theft, it's an attack on our heritage." President Macron promised justice. But behind closed doors, there was outrage. How could this happen? Turns out the Louvre's security was falling apart. A 2021 audit had already revealed outdated cameras, blind spots, and missing guards. 35% of the rooms in the same Dinan wing that where the theft occurred had no cameras at all. The camera that should have seen the balcony was facing the wrong direction. And to make things worse, the museum's camera authorization had expired months earlier. The thieves hadn't outsmarted the system. They'd just walked through its weaknesses. The jewels taken weren't just expensive, they were history itself. The sapphire set of Queen Maria and Queen Hortense, tiara, necklace, earring, 1,083 diamonds. The emerald necklace of Empress Marie Louise, a gift from Napoleon himself. The crown of Empress Eugenie, created in 1855, covered in 1,354 diamonds and 56 emeralds. But that crown, the thieves dropped it while escaping. Police found it later, damaged, and covered in fingerprints. What's worse, none of these pieces were insured. By law, the Louvre can't insure items unless they're being moved. So France lost nearly $100 million in uninsured history. DNA was everywhere. Gloves, helmets, tools, even the walkie-talkie. Within a week, police made their first arrest. Two men from the suburbs of Paris, one trying to flee to Algeria, the other to Mali. Their DNA matched the samples at the scene. Soon, 5 more suspects were caught, but none of them would reveal where the jewels went. Experts say the loot was likely dismantled and melted down within days. The gems recut, the gold melted, the history erased. Investigators believe the thieves had inside help. Someone who knew the blind spots, staff schedules, and alarm timings. And this wasn't the first time. France had faced 3 similar museum robberies in the past year, all using power tools. The Louvre was just the grand finale. When the Mona Lisa was stolen in 1911, it was recovered intact. It became even more famous. But this time, the loss was different. The jewels of France's queens were likely destroyed forever. This wasn't a heist for art, it was a heist for profit. Cold, mechanical, heartless. As one art detective said, "Modern thieves don't steal art anymore. They steal gold." The Louvre's director later said in tears, "It feels like someone stole a piece of France itself." Even now, one thief remains missing. The jewels gone, the shame permanent. And that single question still echoes through Paris. If they can rob the Louvre in 7 minutes, what can't they rob next?